I think there's more content online discouraging marriage than there is content online about encouraging marriage. Hollywood, music industry, destroying marriage. And you know what the number one reason is why people are actually getting married? It's not love. You're now listening to the No Pillz podcast, your best resource for cultivating meaningful, healthy, long-lasting, romantic relationships that bloom into strong marriages. Welcome to No Pillz. Welcome to No Pillz. Love fully scripted. We back, friends. Your man, God's man, G-man, Brother Gordon. Let's get it today. I've got one today, friends. I have been thinking, observing, just having this strong sense of wanting to communicate to you that marriage is under fire. Marriage is under attack. I'm sure if you've been listening to the podcast since episode 1, you've walked away with that sentiment, with that idea, with that reality, that revelation. But I thought it would be good for us today to just discuss the how and the why marriage is under fire. And for us just to peel that back and open that up. You know, one of the goals here at No Pillz was to set before you good solutions, practical tools and tips, individuals so you can have healthy relationships, have the tools to have healthy relationships, and to analyze and hear from individuals that are in healthy marriages. And as I've always said right from the beginning, you know, just with the foundation being that, hey, your relationship is the vehicle. You need an owner's manual that comes along with that vehicle, that relationship from the manufacturer. God's the manufacturer. The Bible's the owner's manual. And it's going to help you operate your relationships leading into marriage at its peak performance. That's what we do over here at No Pillz. And if you're online at all, if you're getting advice or watching videos from other relationship podcasts, and there are a ton of them, and if you're just surfing, if you're just scrolling online, you will definitely walk away, and maybe you haven't noticed it, but there is probably I would say the majority of data, the majority of feedback, the majority of the discussion, at least from my perspective, the little bit of perusing I've done, is that you walk away with a sense of like, don't get married. I think there's more content online discouraging marriage than there is content online about encouraging marriage or how to have a good marriage or to even wait for marriage. I think just the feedback from people as they're communicating their experiences, their ups, their downs, everyone kind of walks away with this like, don't do it, or that it's just this fantasy. Like it's not possible. Oh, it would be nice if it could happen. That's what I see. That's the bulk of what I'm running into, which is one of the reasons that led me to want to start this podcast so we could see it from the other perspective. And along with that, you know, social media is one of the main hows now. And I don't know if it's, you know, I can't say that I will say that it's intentional, but I think it's just the blind leading the blind. You know, a bunch of people sitting together just talking about their complaints and maybe even having a focus on everything being adversarial. Friends, we have to be aware of this. If you're not into social media at all, you don't do anything online, when you get into this space, when you get into this new platform, this new era that's been going on for a little while now, the content that goes viral, the content that everyone looks at is that adversarial content. So it's harder to do positive content. It's harder to do content where there's not an enemy. You know, we got the antagonist, protagonist. I mean, we're just talking about storytelling, right? But so when you have that reality and then you bring in relationships, well, of course, you're not going to see a bunch of content on, happy marriages, how to have a happy marriage, how positivity in relationships. No, you're going to see the bulk of it being negative, adversarial. Let's argue whose fault is it, because that is what's going to trend. That's what's going to get the likes, the clicks, the shares. Trying to show how dumb women are, how dumb men are, how we don't. That's just a fact. That's a matter of fact. That is going to work. You can see it in the thumbnails, right? Everything has to be posted with controversy because we want the clicks. So from that perspective, I'm saying marriage is under fire from a social media perspective because the negative is what sells. There's not a lot of interest a lot of the times in the positive. So it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where you reap what you sow. We're putting out negativity. We're talking down on marriage or relationships. And you better believe if you're taking that stuff in, that's what's coming back to you. Hollywood, music industry, Hollywood, listen, destroying marriage. I mean, there are so few songs about love, commitment, and marriage in comparison to cheating and infidelity. I mean, long gone are the days of Little House on the Prairie. Long gone are the days of Little House on the Prairie. Now it's Sex and the City, Will and Grace, Modern Family. I don't even know what the last, what is that? Was that 3 Men and a Baby? I don't know. It's just everything completely opposite of wholesome, traditional, monogamous relationships. We want reality shows. We want to talk to porn stars. We want to talk to people that are in polygamous relationships. Media, Hollywood, music about cheating. If you cheat, I don't want to know. I knew it was, it's ridiculous. So I just want you to take a step back and ask yourself, okay, the content that I am consuming, the content that is available to me online, is it promoting marriage? Or is it discouraging and encouraging divorce? Is it encouraging monogamy? Or is it encouraging infidelity? Now, let's say you were training and you were in a sports event, okay? And you're going to bed on time, you're eating a certain diet. There's a certain level of discipline that you're having to put yourself under so you can win the prize, so you can come in first place. Would you be listening to content that was telling you couldn't win the race? You can't get it done. You're gonna fail. Would you have that in your headphones? Or would you have the eye of the tiger? I can do all things through Christ. I am more than a conqueror. I am, right? So just think about what I'm saying to you, friend. We're living in a time and an era where there's so much down talking like towards marriage, and we're taking that in. What is that going to do to our marriages? What is that going to do to our relationships? We're creating an environment and a mindset to fail by taking in all this nonsense, discontentment. Something else that comes in from offline, discontentment. You're promoted through consumerism. You don't have enough and you're not enough. You don't have enough and you are not enough. That is not going to work in a marriage. So if you're already coming out of a space and a headspace where it's like, well, I need new clothes, I need a new car, I need a better house, better clothes, better heart, that is just going to trickle and spill right into, man, I need a better spouse. Yeah, we've been together for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 3. Nah, you know what? I need better than you. I've got to upgrade. So this idea of discontentment that is promoted through consumerism that we're consuming every day, it's hurting marriages. Marriage is under attack, friends. It's under attack. Redefining marriage. This one, literally, we've redefined marriage. Let me show you what I mean. So went over to Webster's dictionary. Okay, so I knew what I had to do here. I went back to Webster 1828 dictionary that was used, created to support the translation of the Bible in the 1800s. And that was available to them in the 1800s. And let me read you the definition of marriage from a Webster's dictionary from 1828. The act of uniting a man and a woman for life. A man and woman for life, one and one. Wedlock, the legal union of a man and woman for life. Marriage is a contract both civil and religious, by which the parties engage to live together in mutual affection and fidelity, till death shall separate them. Marriage was instituted by God himself for the purpose of preventing the promiscuous intercourse of the sexes, for promoting domestic domestic felicity, happiness, and for securing the maintenance and education of children. That was the definition in 1828. I got online today. Here is the definition for marriage. The legally or formally recognized union of two people as partners in a personal relationship. What? We have redefined marriage. And let me leave you with some positive tips here, because before we get into the why this is happening, I want to just leave you with some, what can you do to have a healthy marriage, to get into a, all right? First of all, you've got to be committed, friends. You have to be committed. Lack of commitment, number one reason why people are getting divorced. And you know what the number one reason is why people are actually getting married? It's not love. The next words out of my mouth should have been love. When I said, what are the number one reasons why people get married? It should have been love, companionship. Nope. That love is number 3. Companionship was number 2. You know what the number one reason is why people are getting married? Financial security. Finances. Is it any wonder there's a lack of commitment when we're entering into a marriage for the purpose of financial stability? Friends, what happens when you lose your job? What happens if someone goes through some depression in the marriage? What happens if you can't work anymore? Let's say you lose is the marriage over now because we entered into our primary reason for being here is for financial gain? What if there is financial stability, but it's not enough? As we were saying earlier, well, I like to be in the 6-figure plus range. We're not there, so I've got to divorce you. So my first tip to you, be committed. Be committed. And don't enter a marriage for money. Not for money, okay? Stop arguing. Stop being oh my goodness. This spirit of argument, this spirit of debate that we bring into, learn how to communicate. Learn how to communicate and love people who don't agree with you. Learn that it's okay to listen, I'm talking to my women right now. Ladies, it is fine to be led by a man who is being led by God. It is 100% fine to be led by a man who is being led by God. Okay? Too much arguing. If you've got that going on about yourself now, don't go ruin somebody else's life. Continue to be single and be miserable and argumentative on your own. Please. Infidelity. Okay? You've got to keep it in your listen. If you want to go out there and take that risk of your eternal salvation and catching some disease, I would encourage you not to do that. Okay? I would plead with you not to do that. You're not going to die from being abstinent. Trust me, you're not going to die from not having sexual intercourse. You will be fine. But to tell somebody, oh, I love you, I'm going to be committed to only you, to not really mean it, to not be really in a place to follow through, it's wicked, man. And listen, our popular culture promotes this. We're talking about the music, the apps, the dating apps, the Instagrams, the Facebook. Like, all this stuff is I don't want to call it designed. I was going to say rigged, but designed to work together to help encourage you to be a cheater. Then we're promoting infidelity. We're promoting open relationships. We're promoting polygamous relationships. We got to a place in our culture today that we're accepting cheating. I see young women out here accepting, well, if he makes enough money, then he can cheat on me. What? Or everyone's going to cheat. This is where we are in our culture, in our society today, friends, that we are promoting infidelity, we're accepting infidelity, and then we think that there's going to be some type of good outcome. Listen, you can be so ingrained, right? So ingrained, so saturated in hookup culture. How do you know you can turn that off when it's time to get married? You think you're just going to turn that off? You think you're going to be satisfied in your marriage now when you've been steeped in fornication, when you've been hooking up with people every other day? As soon as something don't go right, you just leave, go on to the next person. Don't even get to know them. You just pair bonding with everyone. So you think that you're going to be able to just transition from that type of lifestyle and background to like, yeah, now I'm going to be monogamous. Have realistic expectations. Yes. Have realistic expectations of marriage. Marriage is not trips to Cancun, Bahamas, Bermuda, every other day, every other weekend. It's not just joy and tourism and I get what I want when I want. It's not just money, flying, growing on trees and falling from the sky. No, it's work. It's sacrifice. It's self-denial. And you could end up in a marriage, a healthy, loving marriage that is headed for eternity with no vacations. How about that? It's children. It's no sleep. It's disagreements. It's prayer. It's prayer. Yeah. Please have realistic expectations. Then there's the you want to have a relationship, be in a relationship that's growing and blooming into marriage with a person that you're equally yoked with. You're on the same page about everything, friends. You know what I mean? Your religion's the same, political views are the same. You know, you have the same equal work ethic. Okay, you both able to pull. Okay, when I say equally yoked, when the scripture says equally yoked, what are we talking about? We're talking about two beasts of labor, two oxen being yoked up together and being able to pull the plow. They're both pulling the plow. If one had a broken leg or couldn't pull, you couldn't pull the plow. You need both parties to pull the plow with equal output. Everybody has a role. I said it. I don't care if you get mad about it. Male and females, husband, wife have roles. And those roles are equally important to the pulling of the plow. Do not let this culture and these times in which we live tell you otherwise. Okay? I don't care if you're in your first, second, third, fourth wave of feminism. Get out of here. We need everybody pulling their weight, but it's different. Okay? Someone has to feed the babies. Come on. Someone's got to tend to the home. Oh my goodness. You want to have a successful marriage? Man, get equally yoked. Get with the right person. Be on the same page with things, man. Listen, you plow the field so you can plant the seed, so the seed can grow and you can eat. As it is in the natural, so it is in the spiritual. Come on, friends. Come on, friends. Get off of these ideologies that are contrary to common sense. Men and women are not the same. They are different for a reason. And when they are brought together, they make up the image of God. There's a lack of preparation. You need to get premarital counseling, friends. Right? Have all the tough discussions, hard-hitting discussions, and ask the tough questions before you get married. This is going to significantly increase the possibility of you remaining married, right? Because you're going to decide, okay, I've got it all figured out. I know everything I need to know about you that I can know about you from right now. We're on the same page, whatever. I'm locked in. We both got commitment and we're married. We're not just getting married because we had a baby. This is why you don't fornicate. This is why you don't have sex before marriage, friends. This is why you don't have sex before you're married, right? We're not getting married because of money. We're not getting married. No, you're on the same page. You've done the preparatory work before you get married. And the last thing I want to tell you, you want to marry somebody and have successful, man, don't marry somebody who drinks, smokes. I don't care if it's one glass of wine. I don't care if they're smoking one joint. Don't do it, friends, because you know what happens? That alcohol, them demons, them spirits, those drugs, narcotics, etc., opens the gateway for demonic possession and then domestic violence. You know, someone's always disagreeing. And I'm just fine with it. Man, look, all right, man. Can't say I didn't tell you. Can't say I didn't warn you. Welcome to No Pillz. We're going to keep it real with you over here. All right? Now, why, friends? Why? Why is marriage under attack like this? Coming from all these different angles, all these different why? There's something spiritual here, friends. There's something spiritual. We want to pull the curtain back. Satan hates marriage. Lucifer the covering cherub, the fallen angel cast to this earth. He hates marriage. Why? Because marriage was an institution given to human beings in perfection. One of the two institutions given to humanity in perfection. Secondly, because the marriage reflects the image of God. He hates the image of God. So Satan wants nothing more, friends, than for marriages to either not happen and us to be involved in fornication, or for there to be single family homes. Satan loves single family homes. He loves them. He loves them. Why? Because single family homes have disadvantages that can affect the parent and the child over a long period of time. And he knows this. In 2017 to 2021, the share of families headed by single parents was 76%, among African American families, 59% among Hispanic families, 39% among white families, and 31% among Asian families. He loves it, friends. Here's why. You have less money, okay? And when there's less money, there's a greater temptation to compromise morals and principles to make that money. Where there's lack of money, there's greater temptation to be involved in criminal activities. For the children to get involved in drug dealing. For the mother or for the parent to get involved in stealing. Becoming a thief. To get involved in activities such as prostitution, stripping, OnlyFans. He's like, yeah, let's keep them separate. You'll be hard pressed today to find families where both parents don't have to work, which is a problem in and of itself. So yet we know this, and God, I've heard this. Have mercy on us, Lord. I've heard females say that they would intentionally desire and are planning to be single moms. What? That's your plan? You want to be in a household where there's less money? He loves it. Okay? It's like, yeah, if there's less money, I can get him on temptation. I'll get him right there. I'll get him to sin. Where there's not two parents, you're going to spend less quality time with your child. It's fact. Satan loves this because now he can spend the quality time with your child. He's like, yep, social media, I'll be on their phones. I'll be working through their friends. I'll be working through the devices they have. I'll be working through what? That corrupt educational system that you have them going to now. Now they've got to go to a public school or private school that's promoting and teaching feminism or oh my goodness. Helping to get them confused about their sex, telling them the gender role. Come on, man. He loves it. Single family home gives him access to the children. Think about what I'm saying to you. Think about what I'm saying to you. The fact that we're even setting this, that we're setting broken families and the idea of being separated, divorced, or the idea of sleeping around and hookup culture is from the enemy. It's from the enemy, friends. You a single parent? Oh yeah, you're gonna be overloaded, friends. You're gonna be working too hard, too much, leading to the breakdown of your own mental health. Come on. How you going to raise, rear, train a child when you're tired, when you're broke down, when you're beat up, when you have no outlet, no adult communication? Satan loves this. He wants you to be a bad parent. And what increases the opportunities or chances, I should say, for you to be a bad parent is for you to be trying to raise a baby by yourself, to raise children on your own. Yeah, once you're working two jobs, can't be there for your kids. You can't be there for them physically, emotionally. And maybe at that point, all you're doing, you're there for them monetarily. He doesn't want you to be there for them. You can't be there for them physically, can't be there for them spiritually, and barely you're there for them monetarily. You can pay the mortgage or the rent, and that's it. But those other areas where they need you, you're checked out. You're not there. You're too overworked. And then if he can get you to snap on your children, to be angry towards your children because how tired you are, because of your frustration, because your tank is on empty, he's winning. Now he's got a kid that's being raised, your child is being raised. He's like, man, my dad and my mom was so impatient with me. They were always on edge, always on. Satan is winning. which then bleeds into what? Behavioral problems for your children. Now it's like, well, let's put your kid on Ritalin. Let's get them on a drug for behavioral problems. They're going through all the ups and downs of being in a broken home, so they're having behavioral issues. You're not there to help them out. And Satan's response, oh, this is great. I promoted and encouraged a single family home, and now I'm going to encourage you to put that kid on drugs. I want control of the minds. This is the plan from the enemy. Now you have relationship problems. You yourself don't know how to be in a relationship because you're coming out of a broken relationship, and now you're modeling that brokenness to your child. So now they don't know how to be in a relationship. Satan is winning, friends. He's winning. He's on the up and up. Listen, then you get like weird things that happen where now the parent sometimes clings to the child and thinks the child is a spouse, and then that child can't move on and have their own independence because they think that you're married to your child. No. They need to become an adult and get out on their own. But this is all part of the enemy's plan. He wants control of future generations of humanity. And the best way for him to do that is to get control of the family as soon as possible. This is why everything in popular culture is not conducive and is not promoting healthy monogamous marriages, but the opposite. Because he wants ultimate control of the world. Right? If you want to get control of governments and nations, get control of the families. Get your foothold in the family. Friends, I want to say this to you. I'm sure there's going to be many people who are going to listen to this podcast and they're being in a single family relationship, a single family home, raising the kids on their own, and you're going to be discouraged. Oh, Brother Gordon, what do I do now? But listen, first of all, get praying. That's the first things first. Get praying, okay? And if there is a potential for you to actually be married to your children's father or mother, see if you can get that going on, right? Get into some counseling together. See a pastor. Get it together and see if you can actually get your family together. All right? You got to pray, friends. And maybe, better work on bettering yourself to make yourself a husband or a wife. And maybe by God's grace, He'll send you a spouse. And you can have a healthy home. But yeah, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. You're going to be swimming up. You're going to be climbing uphill, swimming upstream. It's not going to be easy. The reality is, in life, our decisions have consequences. Period. Our decisions we make in life have consequences. But I serve a God that says, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Amen. This is Gordon McGee. This is No Pillz, Love Fully Scripted, and I'll catch you next week.